Hello, this is Carlos, and today I'm going to be talking about how to adjust the sensor into the flywheel, the adjustment of how close and far away the sensor needs to be so we can fix problems. So what are those problems? The problems you can have are: one, that you're hearing like click, 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 click all the way when you're rowing from the flywheel. That means that the possibility is the sensor, for whatever reason, is touching the flywheel, and every time it's turning, you're hearing this click. So it needs to be removed from the flywheel. Or the second problem, the more common, is that for whatever reason there is too much distance from the sensor into the flywheel, so the data you're getting into the monitor or into the computer is not precise. So that will be shown when your power curve starts and then doesn't finish, or when your power curve starts or doesn't even start and the numbers are all over, the numbers are going crazy. So that's a signal that there is 4 magnets on the flywheel and the sensor is not catching them, all of them, and then the data is going to be distortion. So that gets solved putting the magnet closer to the flywheel, and that's what I'm going to be showing you. As you could see here, I removed the side plate, I removed all the bolts around the plate, and I removed that plate, so it gives me access to the inside. And now we're going to see here, that box over here, that black box, is the interface. So the interface, as you could see here, has 2 cables coming out, and then they go over there, and then they are connected to the sensor. That is this black thing that goes into this tube, this stainless steel tube. That's the sensor. So here, what you could see is from underneath, I push the machine all the way to the front, and here you could see that screw over here. In this case is an Allen, so I come with the Allen and it fits here, or it can be sometimes a screwdriver. And then by releasing that nut, what you're going to do is this nut, what is keeping is the sensor on place. So if you release the nut, you will be able to get the tube inside of this. There is a black tube that is the sensor intact inside of this stainless steel tube. By releasing the nut, this tube can move one side to the other. So when I release the nut, you don't need to take it all the way out. You release it, you will be able to, from here on the corner, you'll be able to push a little. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the flywheel cage and then the flywheel, and then you're going to see the sensor, and then we're going to be able to adjust it to one side or the other. So I will recommend, before you release the nut, you do what I'm going to do now. So what you should do is, with the Allen again, the small Allen, you'll see there is a screw under here. You don't need to see it, it's the only screw under. You release that screw. Okay, that screw is out, that's the only one. And then now this cage, you will go closewise. So you turn closewise and then you get it out. Okay, so you see these pins here is how it goes, and then it keeps. So the cage is out. In order to don't lose the bolt, I always put it here so it stays with the cage. And now we have the flywheel here. So the flywheel, to remove the flywheel, you go to the center bolt, and then with an adjustable, you will release that nut. Very simple. Get it out, and then you get the flywheel out. So when you have the flywheel out, you could see here we have the 4 magnets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are the magnets that the flywheel, the sensor needs to read, and if the distance is not proper, then it can alter it. So you leave the flywheel on the ground. Now here you could see the sensor. So that's the sensor, and that can go in and out, and then obviously we'll keep the distance from here to the magnets closer or further. So let's think that we are getting the data we're getting is not good. We want this to come a little more to us. Let's see that we're hearing clock, clock, clock. We want this to go in. That's what we need to do. So as I said, we haven't touched the bolt before on the other side, so this is strongly attached still. So now what I want to do is put a measuring thing, so I know if I messed up where I was before. So you can take a little tape like that, and then you will put it around and just put it at the edge that you know where you go all the way, so you are touching the frame. So now you know where you were. So if I detach the bolt and now I take it to me, I want to come a little bit, so I'll see a little black, but not too much. And if I go a little in, I could see it. So one recommendation I have is that you want to move a very, very little thing, okay? So if you are not getting too much data, or the data is not good, so you need to come a little out, just bring it like 1-2 millimeters out, very little, tight it again from the front, remove that, and then you can put the flywheel in, put the bolt, and then you can test without putting the cage in, or you can put the cage. If you don't put the cage in and you roll a little, be careful, because it's a very dangerous, this flywheel is very aggressive, so don't touch it. But I would recommend you put the cage on, test it, and if not, you remove it and put it back and tighten it. So that's how you're going to adjust it. So we have adjusted the sensor, it's fine, and we're gonna be sure the bolt is tight from the front. So now, one important thing to remember, when you put the flywheel on back, and then you put the bolt, a very important thing to remember is you're going to hold the flywheel in place, you're going to tighten it, and then you tighten it all the way you get to the end. You don't want to force it, you just keep going. And when you get to the end without forcing it, it's touching. Now you want to release like a 25% of the turn. So it's from here all the way to here. So 1.5. So what you will see is when you move the flywheel like that, it has a millimeter of move, okay? So that's important that it has this move. It needs to be just a millimeter. Maybe it can be a little less. That's enough, okay? So it's not like touching. It has a little free movement. So that's the flywheel is fine here. And then now we're going to get the bolts again. And then we're going to adjust, we're going to put the cage. So the cage, you need to be a little skilled to put it back. Don't get frustrated, because you need to get all the things lined up. So what you're going to do is look at this bolt over here, the one that is by number 4, and then you're going to push this thing all the way to the top here when it closes, and we know that this is 10. So this is going to be here, is 10, so we know that that one will go here. So we first put the bottom one, and then you put the bottom end, and then you line up this one with this one, and now you push it in. So we be sure it's in here and here. Now, one is not in yet. Now we'll need to turn it that way. So be sure. So I didn't make it right, so I'll try again. This one is not in here. Okay, now it went in. It's in. So how you know it's in, you click off, but the reason you know it's in is because when you're going to put the bolt into the hole at the bottom, you should see the bolt, the hole open. So if the hole is open, is that all went in. So You get the bolt in. That's it. So be sure. So now it's on. It's sliding well. And remember, the bolt that holds into the sensor is tight again. Okay, and this is it.